Hey guys, glad you could join me today. We're here for our next two thrilling chapters in David Walliams' Ice Monster. But you walked in on me on a pretty cool time. I'm looking over some old pictures. I have pictures of past years with friends, past school years, all different things, and I can remember back to that date what I was doing. So taking a lot of pictures is something that we kind of take for granted now with cell phones and digital cameras. It used to be you only got 12 shots or sometimes 24 depending on the film you bought, but now we take them all the time. The difference I've noticed is people don't print them, you don't look at them. So if you get a chance, pick up a camera, always save those pictures, figure out a way that you can share them with people, whether it's through sending them to a digital frame. There's digital frames out there. Having your parents print the good ones. You'll always want to look back on them and you can remember that date. It's kind of like a photo journal. But, of course, you know you're here to hear the next thrilling chapters of David Walliams' Ice Monster. Now, as you can see, we are on part 4. Right here, part 4, home. All right. Let's get started with chapter 73. Chapter 73, headlines across the world. If the long sail back to London was somber, the journey up the Thames was anything but. All of London turned out to watch HMS Victory, which had seen off the entire British naval fleet, make its way along the river. The news of the Mammoth's adventures had made headlines all across the world. Orphan girl brings Mammoth back to life. Monster on the loose. Gangs daring escape from London. HMS Victory stolen. Chelsea pensioners break out of Royal Hospital. Police fail to capture Ice Monster. 100-year-old warship triumphs over entire British Navy. Secret plan to return Monster to Arctic. Long-lost professor fished out of Thames. Evil professor behind bars. Locked in cleaning cupboard for a month. I had to survive by eating mops, said Mr. Clout. I actually grew to love the taste. Now I can't stop eating them. Folk lined the banks to wave and cheer, and this lifted Elsie's mood a little. During the long voyage, the girl missed her friend terribly. She had grown accustomed to the Mammoth's smell and sound and touch. She yearned for her trunk to be wrapped around her again. It was like a part of her was missing. A month or more had gone by since they'd left London. The ice over the Thames had melted away, and HMS Victory made fast progress toward the center of London. Despite seeing an obvious delight of crowds, all on board were nervous as the ship came into dock. A pack of policemen led by Commissioner Barker, of course, were waiting on the riverbank for them. Don't you worry, officers. We only borrowed the Victory. Took her for a quick spin, the Admiral called over. Barker's face soured. His lip quivered in barely disguised rage, causing his tiny mustache to twitch. Our orders are to take you straight to Buckingham Palace, he announced. Her Majesty the Queen wants a word with you. The pensioners all gulped. By the sound of it, they were all in deep, deep trouble. Chapter 74, A Fleet of Carriages. A fleet of horse-drawn carriages raced across London to Buckingham Palace. Elsie sat between Dotty and Titch in the first one. Both grown-ups looked sick with nerves. Dotty pulled out a handkerchief and spat on it. Elsie, I just need to give you a quick wash, and then proceed to furiously polish the girl's face. Get off me, yelled Elsie. You're meeting the Queen. When was the last time you had a bath? A what? That's what I thought. The fleet of carriages passed through the tall iron gates into the grounds of Buckingham Palace. Elsie, Dotty, and Titch all pressed their faces up against the window to get a better look. Wow, exclaimed the girl. It's magnificent, added Titch. It could be fit for royalty, remarked Dotty. It is fit for royalty, said Titch. The royals live here. They must have come from that very rich family, observed the lady. The carriage stopped outside the entrance to the palace itself. A footman opened the carriage door, and the three stepped out onto the red carpet. All the old soldiers put on their tricorn hats and white gloves and straightened their scarlet coats. They formed a neat line and marched into Buckingham Palace. Elsie's eyes were dazzled by the riches. Never in her wildest dreams could she have believed anyone lived like this. Gold and marble and velvet spread across every space. Oil paintings, sculptures, and ornaments lined the hallways. She wanted to stop and marvel at every last one, but there wasn't time. Her Majesty the Queen was waiting. "Needs a good dust," remarked Dotty. "I've counted 3 cobwebs." "Shh!" shushed Titch. Eventually, a tall pair of wooden doors opened by the Queen's attendant, Abdul. "Her Majesty has been expecting you," he announced. At the far end of the room was a little old lady sitting alone on a throne with a blanket over her knees. Her skin was as white as snow, her dress as black, and her white hair crouched on top of her head in a tidy bun. It was Queen Victoria. Unsmiling, she looked Elsie straight in the eye. "So you must be the urchin who stole my mammoth." All right, that does it for chapters 73 and 74 of David Walliams' Ice Monster. All right, time for that favorite part of answering our questions. Now, remember, if we restate the question, then we already have our complete sentence. So that part's written for you. You just have to remember the answer to put in there. So make sure that you answer each and every question with those complete sentences. Again, use the restating the question to do most of the work for you. Have a great rest of your day. And if you get a chance, pick up a camera, take some pictures, save them, because one day you'll look back at them and you'll really enjoy them. Have a great rest of your day, guys.